Hello, everybody. This is Ryan Sino here from Ohio State Primetime Live. Just wanted to give a quick little video here on Ohio State's latest addition to the roster. They actually got a transfer portal commit for the first time this cycle. They were able to land Phillip Daniels, a tackle from the University of Minnesota. And this is the first time that they have been able to land someone from the transfer portal at really any position of need. Um, Daniels comes in as a right tackle. He actually started the last four games at tackle for Minnesota. And he actually was listed as a four-star prospect in the transfer portal. Now, he's a little bit shorter than a lot of tackles. He stands at just 6'5", but he's 315, so he's got some good girth to him. And he's from the state of Ohio. He's from Cincinnati. So he knows what it's like to, play in the state of Ohio. He did so in high school and is really, a solid player. Now, the reason why adding Daniels is so critical to what Ohio State wants to do right now is because they don't have any offensive linemen that they can truly trust for next season. Seth McLaughlin and Josh Simmons are headed to the NFL. So those players are no longer going to be options. Neither is Donovan Jackson. He's going to head to the league as well, more than likely. So that leaves Ohio State with three starters that they need to replace. And those are the only three starters that have really been constantly good all year long. As we've heard Ryan Day talk through this game against Tennessee, they're still trying to figure out their guard situation. And the guards are the only ones that are coming back next season. So the Buckeyes need someone at tackle who can step up, who's played in the Big Ten before, and give them some quality snaps. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not Daniels will start right away next year. Like I mentioned, he only started the last four games this season. He played about 300 snaps, so that's a good chunk of time, and he played it against Big Ten competition. So that's something that can benefit him as he battles for a job next season. But Ohio State's work in the portal is not done. There are still several other players that they are looking at. Unfortunately, they weren't able to land Isaiah World, the transfer tackle from Nevada. He decided to narrow his schools down to three. Two of them are Big Ten schools, and Ohio State is not one of them. So that's a bummer. But there are still some other guys that they can go out and get. And they're going to need to, because they probably need at least three other guys to come in from the portal because of the lack of depth that they have up front on the offensive line. Me and Garrison have talked at length about the fact that Justin Fry doesn't seem to be able to develop the players that he recruits. And it's not like he's landing these blue chip 5-star guys all over the country either. If he was, then there wouldn't be as big of a problem up front as there is now. But he's landing a lot of 3-star, some lower 4-star kids, and he really hasn't developed them to be the kind of players that Ohio State needs in order to run the ball effectively. The pass protection hasn't been too bad this season. But over the last couple of years, we have not seen the run game explode against the better teams on their schedule, namely Michigan. So they need to get some guys who can move dudes off the line of scrimmage. I would say Daniels is pretty decent at that. I wouldn't say he's great. He still has some work that needs to be done. He came in out of high school as a 3-star recruit, so he didn't have that high-level talent that a lot of programs were clamoring for. But those last four games were an encouraging sight on what he might be able to do in Columbus. So I think there's a pretty decent chance that he ends up starting next season. Now, again, we're going to have to see what else happens in the portal, and we're going to have to see what else happens, with some of the guys that they have on the roster right now. I wouldn't exactly say I'm enthused with the options they have at tackle right now. So landing Daniels was necessary, and it was, it's a good first step. This is the first guy that they've gotten from the portal. My guess is they want to land – Ohio State probably wants to bring in another 7-8 guys from the portal. because they're going to lose some guys once the college football playoff run is over. So they're going to need to get guys not just on the offensive line, but all over. Look for them to target some defensive linemen too. But this was a good first step for Ohio State.